Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 442 podcast. I'm Wazir Madani, and as always, I am joined by the wonderful Tommy Sondy.
Hello, hello.
And the worldly Tony O.
Morning, boys. Worldly. I'll take it.
It's on brand for what's coming up.
Yeah. It's up on the tables, boys. 5 points clear.
What do we do to deserve this?
It's been a wonderful weekend.
Look, I've been asking myself that for the past 2 years.
Hey, in fairness, when we decided to start this podcast, I'll point out that Arsenal were in 8th. They just finished 8th position. Chelsea were the champions of Europe, and United had finished 2nd or something like that. So
Yeah, I like those times. Can we go back?
No, can we not? Because I don't want to relive the last 2 years again.
Yeah.
I think a year ago, to this day, Chelsea were top of the table.
Really? There was a point Lukaku was top of the table.
Yeah, can you believe that? Yeah.
Simple.
And then he released an interview on a Sunday, and it all went downhill. But
so you're saying
interview on a Sunday? You
yeah.
say? That sounds familiar.
Sounds very familiar.
Sure, we'll
talk about
yeah,
that.
Don't worry, we will get to that. But I think we should open up with the reason Arsenal are going to be 5 points clear at Christmas, and that is City losing 2-1 to Brentford at home. Ivan Toney, 2 goals. Maybe he should have been going into the World Cup. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just my opinion.
He had a point to prove. He really had a point to prove. Yeah, he was all over City throughout the game, and I think it would be disappointing to only have 2 goals. I mean,
if it wasn't for a De Bruyne goal line clearance, he'd have a third.
I mean, even before that, he had chances early on before he scored. Like, City's defending was non-existent in this game. I don't know why Ruben Diaz is not playing, because he's the only center back they have that actually likes to center back, I think, but likes to defend. But hey, credit to Brentford. Their game plan worked, and they kept De Bruyne and Haaland quiet, and City don't seem to have much else these days.
Yeah. That was the big key, right?
Yeah.
Haaland, I can't remember him having a clear-cut chance at any point in this game.
No, he didn't. And De Bruyne didn't really have anyone to pass to other than... I mean, he did have that one great ball to Phil Foden. And we should mention that Foden scored a really, really nice goal in this game off the set piece. But I don't know. Mahrez is not in form. Bernardo Silva is not really much of a goal scorer. Grealish is whatever Grealish is these days. We talk a lot about City's depth, but feels like when Haaland isn't scoring, they struggle to get goals from the rest of the team, which is the opposite of what they've been in recent years. So, yeah.
I mean, they have Julian Alvarez, but Pep didn't bring him on until the 87th minute.
Yeah. It's Pep. It's punishment. It's punishment for the poor performance, right? Yeah, you guys figure it out. That's his mantra. This is not my problem. This is your problem.
I've given you everything.
Mm-hmm.
I've given you the tools. Why aren't you performing?
Yeah.
Well, on the flip side, what a result for Brentford.
Is that their first away win of the season? I think it is their first away win of the season, which sounds really strange. But, yeah. Great place to get a great game plan. They just completely skipped midfield. I think they had 1 in 3 passes was a long pass in this game, which is maybe a bit of.
They just let Tony post up on whichever defender he felt like and play off that pretty much, or sit back and get them on the counter. I think was it Vissa for the second goal, where he just skipped past someone in midfield and just had all the space in the world to run into.
Yeah, those last 5 minutes were really unprofessional from City, I felt. It had the look of players protecting themselves, with the World Cup coming up, because I mean, the only player who decides to bust the gut to get back, other than Gundogan does, but then Haaland eventually decides, you know what, somebody's got to try and do something. He sprints back, and I think City had Akanji, Haaland, and Gundogan trying to stop that counterattack. It's not ideal, but yeah, great play by Brentford. Let's take nothing away from them. And yeah, perfect for perfect for me, perfect for Arsenal. Gives us a base camp, I think, to be disappointed in the new year. So
yeah. I was about to say, try to get a gauge on what you were feeling. But 5 points clear. You're going to be top of the table at Christmas. First time in, I don't know how many years that Arsenal can say that? Since like 2008?
I've got a stat for you. Everybody who's been top at Christmas has gone on to win the league, except guess who?
Arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah.
It is the history of the Arsenal.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Let's talk about their win against Wolves. As unprofessional as City's defending was, I thought Arsenal were very professional in this game.
Yeah, there were reports coming out that Arsenal, the camp was stricken with food poisoning, which there's a bit of history with Arsenal and food poisoning as far as Tottenham's dodgy lasagna, but didn't seem to stop us. I mean, Granit Xhaka had to go off early on.
Hey, I mean, I think it might have. Do you think Wolves might have had food poisoning? Because they were fucking shitting themselves every time Arsenal got into their box.
I think Wolves have had food poisoning all season. To be honest, the way they've been playing. They've scored 8 goals this season?
Yeah, 8 goals.
That
is impressively bad.
1 in 2 games. You only score once, every 2 games.
It's like Chelsea levels of scoring right there.
Hey, relax.
Yeah,
that's worse. You've got almost double the
more than
it feels like 8 though. That's the thing.
Yeah, with the level of talent they have, no wins in the last 5 games. That's really insane. I mean, they don't have a center forward really of note. They started this game, I think, with, was it Guedes, and I can't remember who else was playing up front, but they basically didn't have a recognized striker. Parked the bus, and eventually it took some brilliance and endeavor from Martinelli to open them up. But an Odegaard with one really instinctive finish, and the second one was really well taken. So, yeah, I think that's 10 or 11 games without a goal for Jesus. Had one chalked off for offside, but as long as the goal scoring is being shared elsewhere, it's not really been as significant. Feels like we're using City's classic game plan of everyone scoring, spreading the goals. The only problem is
everyone gets 8 or 9 goals in the season.
Yeah, the only problem for us is that doesn't really include the bench, which you kind of need in this situation. So if we get a couple of signings, maybe we've been linked to Mudryk, but which I would love. But yeah, hey, for the next 6 weeks, Arsenal are going to be 5 points clear at the top of the table, and I'll take that.
Yes, so good.
And we will have to hear it every single week.
Yeah.
No, we'll be talking about the World Cup.
You're going to hear it.
No.
You are going to hear it.
No.
Tommy, let's be serious. We're going to hear it. There could be literally anything going on, but we will be hearing it from Tony. And that's,
yeah, get ready.
That's a special place in hell, isn't it? How bad are our lives going to be? I'm just talking, Tommy, you and me specifically. How bad are our lives going to be if Arsenal actually pull this off?
Well, it won't be as bad because Tony will be singing and we'll have a new rendition of a different song to put on the podcast, for sure. That's so true. There is a positive coming out of there. You
know what? That'll be That'll be my lighthouse in the storm at the end of all of this. If Arsenal win the league,
You know what? I'll
get
take
a new song.
if Arsenal do win the league. Yeah, you will get a new song out of me.
I want a full 4-minute rendition, like a full start to finish song if Arsenal win the league.
Sure, I can do 4 minutes of Saliba if you like.
No. I want an actual.
We
song.
want original.
That is an actual song.
We want original
content.
No,
Tony,
I want something
original
that will
content.
catch us a copyright strike. I want it to be unuploadable on YouTube.
Okay.
We'll have an opening and a closing to play. That's original content from you. If Arsenal title, we've all
original content.
Original content. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. All right. What episode is this? I have no idea, but yeah, I am absolutely down for that. Sure.
I think we're at 58.
58. Sure. We want to move on to.
Not really. I'm having a lot of fun with this. Oh, that's true. We do get to pile on Tommy. Yeah. You know what? Let's move on. Newcastle 1, Chelsea 0. Tommy, that's 5 games without a win for Chelsea. I believe that's 3 Premier League losses in a row.
Yep.
You can toss in a Carabao Cup loss on top of that if you want, but
that's right. We lost the City.
Take it. You have a little sip of the Carabao. Take it or leave it. But
what was it that
my brother?
Sorry, what was it that Peter Dury said? Graham Potter's Chelsea is playing a new kind of pressing football. It's called deep pressing. Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, that's great.
Listen, we had Potter started off with a 9-game unbeaten run, and then now we're.
Would you say the magic is
run out? Well, I mean, we
like
do have
you
injuries.
Make this joke every week.
Yeah.
No. It's always a variation of it, and it will continue until Graham Potter is sacked. So until midway through January.
Midway, you think he's making it to the new year?
He's got to make it to that World Cup.
Hey! We know how Todd Bowley likes to run his transfer windows. Get all the guys in that your current manager wants, and then sack him at the end.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
And Tommy, you mentioned Chelsea struggling for goals.
Yeah.
I have an elite striker for you.
Explain the nonsense, Tommy. Really, please. What's going on?
What's the nonsense that we have? You've seen our forwards.
Chelsea are the nonsense.
You've seen our forwards. Aubameyang, Sterling, Havertz. We don't have a goal scorer in the team.
Hey,
the
important thing to remember when it comes to Aubameyang, and Tony, you'll agree with me on this. It's nothing personal.
What's tough is, I will mention it, is that we've been struggling without some key players in our squad.
Give me a break.
Yeah. and I don't need to mention, we all know the injuries. Okay, so
no, Tommy. But I'm insisting. I'm insisting that
you're insisting I mention. Okay, well, listen, it's been tough without Conte. Missing him for a good push.
Okay, but you play every season without Conte for half of it.
He's retired at this point. But okay, might as well call Frank Lampard a Makelele. But go on.
No, listen.
Please go on.
A lot of our poor runs come when Conte's out, and when he's back, we play a lot better. So it's a big.
Damn! If only there were 2 transfer windows a year where you could sign
a big effort.
A deputy.
It's a big deal, and you know what? Not having our starting fullbacks, where we've stated a lot from Chelsea, the creativity, everything come from our play does come from our fullbacks.
Did you or did you not spend 60 million on Cucurella
and to be a center back?
He's not to be a sub.
And a sub. Yeah, he came on late. Yeah, that's right. To be fair,
this guy fell out with Graham Potter, got himself sold, and then Graham Potter followed him to that club. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Well, we can't attack.
Any attackers on that list? Are you going to talk about Kepa as well?
Oh yeah, I'll put Kepa in there. I'll put Kepa in there, but we have it's been tough. We can't attack. Our defending is very suspect. We under pressure we kind of buckle. It's very dire in terms of our play. And going back to this game, it wasn't really there weren't really too many chances for both teams. Definitely. Newcastle had a few. We didn't have that many chances.
There you go. That's more accurate.
But it wasn't.
There we go.
It wasn't this game.
Did Aubameyang even play?
No, he didn't.
No,
he didn't come on.
No.
New sub.
I will say though,
I'm loving it.
Hall got his first game, and he was probably our best player. 18-year-old kid, probably our best player on the pitch.
Highly rated.
Hey man,
highly rated.
Hey man, no shame in an 18-year-old being your
not
best
at all.
player.
And yeah, we lost to it was a great finish by Willock to give Newcastle the win. Yeah, I mean, we tried to respond.
Add another goal contribution for Miguel Almiron.
Yeah, he got the assist. He did, yeah.
Just saying.
We tried. The last. I don't know if you guys saw the game. The last 5 minutes was just complete shithousery from Newcastle. They were going for every full-on studs challenge.
They really embraced the villain role at the end of games.
Oh yeah,
haven't they?
They defend for their lives, and it's working because they kept another clean sheet, and
I think they're in a title race. Personally,
they're not that far back, are they?
Yeah, because they will buy again in January. They're that club right now, and I mean, a year ago today they were 20th, right? They were rock bottom. And
boy, these two
now
teams
they're what? Yeah, and now they are third and rising. It's crazy. I mean, look, a couple of injuries, sure, they might fade away badly because their depth is not great. But yeah, imagine if they get.
I mean, but it's not like they haven't been dealing with injuries already.
Yeah.
Isak's barely played in the last month. Sam Maximan has been out for a while as well.
Exactly. And Chris Wood is starting up front, and they're still winning games. So I don't know. Most people think they'll fade away. I think they have a good recipe to stay in.
Yeah.
So their defense is, I mean,
they've
got
lost
the best
once.
defense in the league. Yeah, they've only lost once, and that was a kind of a dodgy win loss against Liverpool when they added on 2 extra minutes or something like that. So yeah, they're dangerous, and they are here. So yeah, can't wait for the City Newcastle battles in the years to come. But
and then you look at Chelsea there. Hey, 8th place.
You're up to 8th. I thought you.
No, we dropped. We were at I think we were 6th last round. So because Brighton, actually we're level on points with Brighton, same record. Nice, awesome, good times indeed. Yeah. Hopefully January brings some good news. And
who do you think is going to be the next manager? Tell me.
Frank.
Frank is back.
Give it to Frank.
Hey, you know what? Former Champions League winner Thomas Tuchel is available.
Can he do that? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
What's Di Matteo doing these days? Yeah, bring him in.
Bring back Avram
Can
Grant.
we stop? Can we stop Zidane going to France and we'll just take him instead? Nah.
Zidane doesn't like stress, man, and your club is stress.
He's already lost his hair. It doesn't matter. But yeah, listen, yeah.
Do we have to move on, or can we stay on Chelsea?
Yeah.
I'm having a lot of fun with this, honestly.
No, we should. There are a lot of games to get through, guys. A lot of games. We still have to talk about Ronaldo.
You know what? I'm glad to talk about the next one. It's Fulham 1, Man United 2. Alejandro Garnacho. What a winner at the end. I screamed. I'm so sorry to my neighbors, but I fucking screamed. The burst of pace to get in behind the defender and the composure to actually finish that chance. Oh, you love to see it. See, Tommy, 18-year-olds can be great.
Yeah. Hey, did we not? I said Hall was our best player, so yeah, I agree.
I know. Yeah. I was coming around to your side.
Oh, were you?
One.
Okay. Looked like you
putting an arm around.
It looked like you were on your way to criticize
you.
More shade, but okay.
Oh no.
Tommy is rattled, man. The man is stressed. It's okay. Okay, Tommy.
Don't worry, Tommy. You don't have to watch Chelsea for 6 weeks.
Yeah, you get to watch
I
Poland
get to watch
instead.
Poland. Yeah, he wants stress. But
at least Poland have a good striker.
Yeah, we're
It's
talking
Poland
about
in the World Cup.
Let's talk about United, guys. Come on.
I mean, it's back-to-back weeks where Fulham has shit the bed against Manchester clubs in the last minute. It was Eriksen that had that Meg pass, right, for Garnacho? For the...
I believe it was Luke Shaw.
I thought Eriksen got the assist. Okay, Luke Shaw, never mind.
So did I, but I might be wrong. But, yeah, I like Garnacho. There were talks about, not even talks, Erik ten Hag and Bruno kind of hung him out to dry in the presser in the lead up to this, talking about some attitude problems in the summer.
So yeah, he was basically he was supposed to start our preseason games in the summer, but he was repeatedly late to meetings. I think that's been a sticking point.
Sancho, so hanging out with Sancho. That makes sense.
Probably.
Yeah.
But hey, if only Sancho could be this direct.
Yeah.
But
or good.
No, Garnacho has had a fantastic couple of weeks. He scored against Real Sociedad in the Europa League. Mm-hmm. He came on he got his first start against Villa last week. He came on as a sub against Villa in the Carabao Cup, got 2 assists, and now he has his first Premier League goal.
He's good.
And it's a 93rd minute winner.
So you signed him from Madrid, or Atletico Madrid, right?
Yeah, from the Atletico Academy.
Yeah, good player. Signed him when he was 16.
So he already has more goal contributions than Sancho, right?
Oh yeah.
Way
more.
Way more
at this point.
They might be on the same amount for the season, but the per 90 stats not looking good for young Jaden.
Are you saying in all competitions, Tommy, or in the Premier League?
I just mean Premier League, yeah.
Okay. Because in all competitions,
Garnacho has 1 goal in the.
I thought that's all Sancho had.
Sancho has an assist.
He's got an
well.
assist. Okay. Just Tony, I was gonna say we made to do a new bet, and you take Garnacho, I'll take Sancho. We'll see.
No, we move on. Garnacho or Anthony? We move on to that. Yeah, Sancho is in the mud, but anyway, Uzair's supposed to be happy. Let's.
Hey, I'm still enjoying myself. You can't take the shine off this for me. You might try to Ronaldo this, but you're not going to.
What's wrong with that man? He is.
I mean, for those who are somehow watching this, listening to this, and are unaware, after this game finished, one Cristiano Ronaldo allegedly out of this game due to illness. What actually happened was on Thursday he was told that he wasn't going to be part of the starting lineup, that he was going to be a sub, and then he went and did this. He has done a sit-down interview with the
most despicable
I've
man
got
on
the word
TV.
Journalist written down, but in quotation marks. Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's a company you want to keep, Cristiano, it's on you. He's done basically a sit-down interview that's going to be released on Wednesday. Some quotes have already come out where he bashes Ten Hag for not showing him respect. He bashes the club. And pretty much just about everything to do with United. And all I can think of while reading that is, I don't care. We just scored a 93rd minute winner. The timing of it is definitely deliberate on Ronaldo's part. I'm sure he's livid that we actually won this game.
Yeah.
He's still a legend. I'm being serious.
For me? Oh, no, for me? No, his reputation for United's in the mud. Like I don't care a single bit about him anymore. Like, this is how you absolutely ruin your legacy at a club that would and did everything for you.
I don't know how he can do this. Like, honestly, what's the point of this? Like,
it's because he is Homelander.
Yeah, so I mean, I didn't.
That's it. He's just he's at the levels of narcissism. Like, I understand that sort of like he's struggling to adapt to age and no, I don't understand that. That's fucking dumb. What are you doing?
Yeah, he's 37 years old, man. He can't be doing this. I just.
He's 38.
Oh.
You're a grown man.
He should have.
You're a grown man. What are you doing? Running, crying to Piers Morgan.
He should have taken. He should have taken a lesson from Zlatan, and Zlatan has probably one of the biggest egos, but you see what he did. He took a role at AC Milan where he knew he wasn't going to be playing every week, and still be someone who's important to the squad.
He did that when he was 40. He did that when he was 40.
Yeah, it's because he was
gotten an ACL injury.
He was injured, right? Yeah. But before that, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, just one quote that really sticks out. He says, "I have no respect for Ten Hag because he says no respect for me." I don't know how you come back from this. That's it, right? He's done for Manchester.
He's done. Well, joke's on him because we don't have a game for 6 weeks, and then the January window is open. So
yeah, where no one will buy him.
Hopefully, no. Todd Bowley.
Oh yes, I forgot.
He is my hope. Chelsea might be the one club stupid enough to buy him.
He wanted him in the summer.
Aubameyang and Ronaldo.
Wait, yeah. I'll drive him there myself.
Bowley wanted him in the summer
for free.
So
I'll pay for the gas.
There's a very good chance that he still wants him and will get him. Great.
You sound excited, Tommy.
Great. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the Aubameyang.
What is there not to be excited about?
Aubameyang,
Ronaldo, Sterling,
up top. Oh my lord. Relegate us.
As much as I don't want to, we should probably move on. Spurs and Leeds. Spurs beating Leeds 4-3 in a game that was absolute chaos. Leeds it's been 3 years, I believe, that they've been in the Prem now. This is their third year in the Prem. What are they doing?
I don't know. Honestly, with Spurs these days, I'm just tired of talking because it's just I don't understand their football.
My favorite stat from this game is that there were 4 goals scored by players named Rodrigo. 4 Rodrigos, if you will. And
I won't.
No reaction to Rodrigos.
Nope.
Oh yeah, that was supposed to be a pun, wasn't it? Oh yeah, okay, never mind.
Tommy is done.
He's so gone. He's so gone.
It must be a Spurs thing. Yeah.
Under half an hour into recording, and we've already ended Tommy. It's okay, my friend.
Hey, I will say though, the old adage of Leeds game is always exciting keeps holding true. There's always something going on. But we should talk about that first goal because Meslier was clearly fouled by 2 Spurs players. Yeah, Tony, you have the reasoning behind why that wasn't a foul.
Harry Kane needs to get his goal before the World Cup for England. That's basically it. Because, does anyone have any other explanation for the most blatant foul on the goalkeeper? He's shoulder checked, he's pinned down. Like, he doesn't even bother trying to protest that much, because he's like, this is going to be chalked off. And then he realizes that the ref's giving it. It's like, what are you talking? Yeah.
Yeah, that's infuriating.
Tottenham they are a strange football club, just in general. But, hey, somehow they keep winning. And they're...
It's because they got their man back to Kulusevski, them.
Ponsic just getting worse.
Yeah.
It's getting worse and worse. So.
I did like, so for that winning goal that he set up for Bentancur, I love that extra touch he takes to beat the Leeds defender. And then sets up.
Damn! When you started a sentence with "I did like that," I thought you were gonna say "I did like that" one pun you made at one point, but it's okay.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes okay. I do enjoy them. Today it's you can't be on your game all the time, Yeah.
Is it because I shit talk Chelsea too much today?
Of course not. I always appreciate a good pun.
You should release. No, I don't know why I'm saying this, but you should release an episode of just all of Uzer's puns. Sure, you have announced.
Yeah. You know what that's gonna be. That's gonna be me trawling through all our old episodes and editing it all together And unless you're willing to learn the audio editing side of this as well, the episode's gonna have to wait because I don't know if I can do all that.
Yeah, I can wait. I'm not exactly dying for that content, so yeah. Yeah.
Or we could just have.
But the fans might be dying for that content, Tony. You gotta think about the listeners.
Yeah, we can get the intern to do it. How about that?
Hey, when it comes to the World Cup, I'm sure we'll have some space in our recording for puns.
If we want unpaid workers, that works too for the.
We've not reached that point yet. We should probably speed up.
We've not reached that point yet. Let's move on from this game. Good win for Spurs. Keeps them in fourth.
Great.
Going into the World Cup break, and we'll move on to Liverpool 3, Southampton 1. Darwin Núñez, his role at Liverpool has evolved.
Yeah, he had a really good performance, and a nice. He took a brace. A nice finish on his first goal. Nice side foot. And honestly, I was very surprised with his level of passing in the game. He had one that really fantastic ball across in the box that Salah just scored. And I'm really happy for Darwin because I brought him in this week in fantasy, and
So
he has pulled me up.
You're not happy for Darwin at all. You're happy for Tommy.
Yeah, definitely. That's usually the case. But he's helped me move up the table. I'm getting closer to Tony now. Azer's way too far away at the moment.
Are you? I must have dropped.
You definitely dropped. Yeah.
I'm 10th. Nice.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you captain Haaland and he's doing Haaland things.
We all captain Haaland though.
Man,
that's the thing.
Yeah. I should have left Trippier as captain.
Yeah. Liverpool. Robertson got an assist, which puts him tied for the all-time Premier League leading assists for a defender, and that's some accomplishment for sure.
Yeah, rough start for Nathan Jones in charge of Southampton. I believe this is his first game since they signed him on from Luton.
Strange appointment
in midweek.
I think, but
I am not familiar with his work at Luton because it's Luton, and apologies to any Luton fans. Not even listening, just if you're out there. I'm sorry. But
Luton are 10. Anyway, I don't know.
Time to sort it out. I don't know. I think they made the fantasy playoffs, championship playoffs.
They did
last season.
They did.
But yeah. Let's move on. West Ham 0, Leicester 2. A clean sheet for Leicester. They've started to put the few together, and they are rising up the table.
Yeah, who would have thought? Yeah, after their start this season, and we were. I was at least calling for Brendan Rodgers to be sacked, and then Tony's like, "Well, Leicester can't afford it." Yeah. And look, they gave him time because they had to, and he's turned it around. So
I basically think that's what happened. I think Rodgers tried to get sacked. It didn't work, and he just decided, "Okay, I'll fix it."
It's like, "Oh, fine, I'll manage."
It feels like it though. Nice finish by Maddison, who then decided to not risk his World Cup involvement and take a seat.
Came off with a minor injury, and he did post on Twitter that he was just feeling some soreness in the spot and was being cautious. Which honestly, with how difficult it's been for him to get into the England squad, I don't really blame him for it.
I don't know. I don't like that, but it is what it is.
I mean, they won.
I understand it.
I think he got the measure of West Ham. He's like, these lot aren't scoring.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
Yeah.
What's that? 6 clean sheets now for Ward. It's incredible. And on the West Ham side, 16th place, guys. I mean, yeah, definitely below what there should be. Scamacha is not scoring.
Nobody's scoring.
Nobody's scoring. Yeah.
Yeah. Paqueta is not working out either.
Nah, he's.
It seems like another summer where like the West Ham signings aren't really working, and it's still they're still relying on the same group of players.
Yeah, when you look at their team, isn't completely crazy different. Like Bowen had a breakout year last year, and then has he got a goal? He's got maybe one goal this season.
He has one. Yeah.
It's worrying times I think for him. Yeah.
It's rough. The break might be coming at a good time for them, so they can take a step back, reassess. Definitely. But moving on to Brighton, they lost 2-1 to Aston Villa. Good evening. He's off to a great start. Unai Emery, 2 wins on the bounce, and Villa looked good. They conceded very early on, but they looked good for a majority of this game. You can see the defensive structure that Emery likes is already in place on this, because Brighton kept trying to attack down a side and then just found it completely walled off and had to cycle all the way back around. So he's got that bit in place already. And Danny Ings popping up with a couple of goals.
Yeah, I always.
And they got a little bit lucky. I do think the Luca Dean challenge on Solly Marsh should have been a penalty.
Yeah.
How it's not been given, I don't know. But that's fine. It's not like we have a video assistant looking at it on repeat and then still not giving it.
Yeah.
But such is life, isn't it?
I'm always happy to see Ings getting the score sheet after he had a rough start, but and happy to see Matty Cash play well too, because we're going to need that a lot coming into the World Cup.
Apparently,
Polish legend
Mateusz
Cash.
Apparently, Villarreal and Aston Villa having a friendly, a mid-season friendly.
The Unai Emery derby.
Yeah.
I think.
What do we have next? We have Bournemouth beating Everton 3-0. We praised Frank Lampard once on this podcast. Ever since he's joined Everton, we praised him once, and his team immediately goes and does this.
The ultimate jinx. Yeah. He lost back-to-back games against Bournemouth, conceding 7 goals. It is not great. Did you guys see what happened when Iwobi threw his shirt into the crowd?
They threw it right back.
It's just like,
I mean, that's harsh on Iwobi. He's probably been their best player.
Yeah, but read the room, man. Why are you throwing your shirt into the crowd when you've lost 3-0? It's like, I don't know. What are Everton looking like in the table? Are they
17th? Yeah,
17th?
They're only a point above relegation. Yeah.
What the hell were we praising Lampard for?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, 3 wins this season.
Probably praising him for not getting sacked yet, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, let's round it off with another newly promoted team getting an inexplicable win. Forest beating Palace 1-0. Wilfred Zaha, man, if you're going to take a penalty, put it on target, please. For the sake of my fantasy team.
I think he's missed back-to-back pens.
He has, yeah. That was an awful pen.
He's not good at pens.
And you know what? I'm sorry, but that was a dive to get the pen in the first place. I don't know if you guys it was clear. It was like, the contact was give me a break contact. He just throws himself to the ground with a spin and sells it.
I think the defender illegally impedes him, and I think he throws himself to the ground. And fair enough. Like, I don't think the foul made him collapse like that, but I do think it's a foul outside the box as well. So, But you could say justice was, was served if you believe that. But, yeah, who scored the goal? Is it Gibbs White?
Yeah.
It was Gibbs White. Yeah. I mean, Forest are just a point behind West Ham and Everton now. They've only lost once in their last 5, and frankly, I don't understand how that's happened. They've got 2 wins in their last 5. I don't know. Relegation battle looks kind of fun because shit teams will randomly pick up a win.
Yeah, it's funny because like you see a team play. Like we were looking at Forest. I think it was last year. We're like, how are they going to get points? And then next week, the team goes and does that.
Sure, why not?
Every week is gonna be like that with a different team.
And yeah, that rounds off the Premier League until after Christmas.
Wow.
5 points
until
clear
after
was,
Christmas. Yeah, because we come back to some Carabao Cup action.
No.
No, we don't.
Yeah, that's yeah, we do.
Oh yeah, we're not in the Carabao Cup. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Oh yeah, we're both.
Yeah,
Chelsea's out as well. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I will carry the 4-4-2 flag through the Carabao
Yeah,
Cup
you do that.
until Burnley knock us out in the next round.
Yeah.
But
Who did you get?
that just leaves we got Burnley.
Vincent.
Vincent
coming back.
Yep.
Okay.
Bald fucker is coming back. I mean, that just leaves one thing for us to talk about. I'm sure people have been waiting for us to talk about this, and that is the FIFA World Cup. Trademark. I mean, squads have been announced. Everyone's getting ready to head off to Qatar for this. And we could preview the actual teams at this World Cup.
We could do that.
But we could.
Yeah.
Or we could look into the actual conditions of this World Cup, including the awarding, the stadiums, and just how everything has fallen into place for Qatar to host this World Cup, why it's happening now, and why we've seen some players even come out and speak about it. We've had Toni Kroos openly speak about it. Recently, Leon Goretzka spoke about it. Bruno Fernandes spoke about it after the United Fulham game. And when we're talking about this World Cup, it only makes sense to start with the awarding of this World Cup to Qatar back in 2010. I mean, the word allegedly is gonna do a lot of heavy lifting for this segment.
Yeah.
But
yeah, there is no actual evidence linking Qatar to the World Cup. Oh well, to say there's no evidence is a bit, false. But there is no conclusive evidence. Let me put it that way. Linking Qatar to any kind of corruption at the World Cup, or in securing the World Cup in 2020. I think they were up against the U.S., Korea, and Japan, right? And I think in the final,
I do remember them being up against the U.S. I can't remember who else was.
I think in the final round they were up against the U.S. and everyone just assumed the U.S. were going to win because their bid met every category. They had the infrastructure. They had the infrastructure in place. In fact, the best stadiums of I think any bid apparently, and yeah, there was a bit of a surprise when Qatar's name was announced. Which, look, I think there's been a bit of, how I put it, there's a bit of a media campaign, especially launched by the US and the UK, which unsurprisingly, because they control media images of everyone really, against Qatar, a bit of a campaign against Qatar in that they are highlighting a lot of issues, which fair enough they should. I do believe that how I put it, I do believe that everyone should have
there is a
equal,
certain amount of
I believe
there
everyone
is a certain amount of hypocrisy in the way the media covered some of it.
Yeah, I do. I think so. But look,
but
let's not get away from the fact that there are a lot of human rights issues that do need to be considered, I guess. But I just think that I don't think that should be a reason that the World Cup shouldn't be going to Qatar. I believe everybody should be given a chance to host the World Cup. I believe that there are football-loving people in Qatar who deserve the chance to display some of the brilliant parts of their culture, because the World Cup's a chance to educate people as well, and not just have one particular idea of what a country is like. However, we can't escape the fact that the way the World Cup bid was won is a bit contentious, right? You want
the phrase "a bit" is doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Yeah.
Allegedly, and I'm saying allegedly. You'll probably figure out what I think from this, but FIFA officials allegedly accepted bribes from the Qatari delegation in order to award the World Cup to Qatar, despite Qatar having a weaker bid. The issues were logistical, because Qatar is insanely hot during the summer when the World Cup is normally played, which is why we're talking about a World Cup in November right now. And the issues were that Qatar had no stadiums at the time that were capable of hosting the World Cup. So this entire bid was theoretical.
Yeah.
There was no actual infrastructure in place. There's no stadiums in place. And pretty much it led to, allegedly, some money being passed under the table to FIFA officials, including the likes of Jack Warner, Sepp Blatter, Michel Platini, I believe, was also implicated in this. There was a bunch of CAF officials.
Oh, yeah. Allegedly, Ben Haman made payments of up to 200 grand into accounts of, into accounts controlled by different presidents of African football associations. He's also been accused of paying 1.6 million into accounts controlled by, as you said, Jack Warner, the president of CONCACAF, I believe. Not the president, the former president of CONCACAF.
Yep.
Yeah. As you said, Platini is implicated as well. His is a bit more interesting because there was no evidence of him receiving anything financial, but there was a meeting with himself and the former French president Nicolas Sarkozy, along with the Emir of Qatar. Basically, where Sarkozy mentioned that France would benefit substantially from if Qatar won the World Cup bid, essentially. And it is believed that Platini changed his vote right around that point. In fact, there's a documentary going on right now, available on Netflix. Basically, I think it's called Uncovering FIFA, where Platini actually pretty much says as much, that he was surprised by the meeting, and he said it didn't affect his vote, but he does confess.
But there is an implication there, and especially when you look at Qatar's investment in PSG, which was right after this, pretty much. The more nuanced of the two sports washing projects.
Yeah, 400 million rights deal was agreed with Al Jazeera, which FIFA definitely benefited from substantially. You look at Qatar, what they bought PSG not too long after the bid was successful, and basically there's a lot of financing that's going on that the French Football Federation has benefited from greatly. So you can put two and two together and come up with your own conclusions. But yeah,
it's that's how Qatar get the World Cup, and then we come to the actual building of stadiums, and we can talk about how everywhere deserves to host a World Cup. And I do think it's great when the World Cup is held in places where it hasn't been before.
Yeah.
Like, one of my earliest football memories is the World Cup that was in Korea and Japan in 2002. And that was a great time. Like, I really enjoyed that. And I do think the World Cup going to new countries is good and is fun. But when you look at the again, alleged state of the stadium building. I have to keep tossing that word in there, but the condition that migrant workers have to deal with in Qatar, where they are underpaid, they're working in intolerable conditions. Qatari official reports say that there have been 3 deaths, around 3 deaths when during the stadium work. Unofficial reports will estimate the number to be in the thousands. And it's just when this is the situation for stadium workers, and honestly, it was a problem. It's not just been a problem in Qatar; it's been a problem elsewhere as well.
Yeah.
But when this is the condition of the stadium workers, and this was the state of migrant workers in Qatar, was something that was known. That was known in 2010 when this was awarded.
I think that's the big thing, right? Because the issue was highlighted.
It's not something that's crept up.
Yeah.
It's been there the entire time.
Yeah, it was stated.
And FIFA are responsible for looking. Look, Bruno Fernandes shouldn't have to say something about the migrant workers after he's played a Premier League game. He's a footballer. It should be on FIFA to make sure that this isn't happening. When you're giving your tournament somewhere, you should make sure it's on FIFA to make sure that workers are treated correctly. But FIFA doesn't give a fuck. FIFA just care that, are they getting paid? If FIFA are getting paid, FIFA will turn a blind eye.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, this was kind of the watershed moment for a lot of things at FIFA. I mean, a lot of arrests were made off the back of this and many other involvements with FIFA dealings over the years. There was a whistleblower. I don't know that there's any point in naming who it is, but reports are out there for anyone interested, who basically was part of the Qatar bid. And she saw a lot of what was going on, felt very uncomfortable. And yeah, she distanced herself. I think she was sacked actually after she protested. And she initially highlighted what was going on publicly and was coerced due to the safety of her family and herself into publicly stating that she had made all of it up for attention before going into FBI custody to change, basically so that she could tell the truth on the matter, where she highlighted that she had been coerced and actually what had gone on. So this is a level of investigation that has gone into the award of this bid. And yeah, it's kind of made, like, the World Cup's usually a celebratory moment. Let's not pretend this corruption like this has been going on for years. This was just the most blatant, but it's just made, it's like a cloud that's over this World Cup, you know? It's just,
yeah. I mean, it's gone to the point where even Sepp Blatter
yeah,
himself has, the chief twat himself has come out and said it was a mistake to award this World Cup to Qatar, which, 12 years too late on that, Sepp.
Well,
thanks, you old fuck.
It actually looks like he was against it from the beginning, not because, he's some kind of beacon of morality, but because
they didn't pay him enough.
Well,
they didn't meet his asking price.
Because it was very obviously going to expose him, and which it did. I just think, which is why he actually hasn't been arrested. Even he's been investigated, but he and Platini have managed to avoid arrests. There have been, I think, 16 of the 22 voting execs have been arrested or investigated. But yeah, it's a mess right now, and yeah, Platini was supposed to take over from Blatter afterwards, but
yep,
that went south. So
yeah. I mean, another thing with this Qatari World Cup has been some of the stuff being said by what's his name? I don't want to get his name wrong because people should know who he is. Khalid Salman is a former Qatari international footballer, and he is a World Cup ambassador. So Mr. Salman said about this World Cup, and I will quote FIFA here when they say the World Cup is for everyone. Mr. Salman has come out and described homosexuality and homosexual fans as being, quote, damage in the mind. Now, you can't say that the World Cup is for everyone and then turn around and just straight up exclude groups of fans like that. And the way it's being covered and the way it's infuriating. It's infuriating that we can't do anything about this when someone like this is in charge of the World Cup. And I love the World Cup. It's one of my, it's once every 4 years. I'm so excited every time it rolls around. And
it's how I got into football, really.
It's my first football experience as well. Yeah. 02 World Cup. Ronaldo and his stupid wedge haircut. I love it so much. But then you have people like this in charge who are actively excluding fans like this and actively saying these kinds of horrendous things. And then you have former players who have taken Qatari money and have joined up as ambassadors. Xavi, Cafu, Gary Neville, David Beckham, just to name a few of them. And helping push this sports-washed narrative.
Yeah, especially
it's fucking depressing.
A couple of them who have been so against it from the beginning. It's a bit embarrassing to then justify their jumping on the bandwagon, essentially saying they can spread their message while they're there. It's like, look, you want to get paid, that's fine, go get paid, but don't be a hypocrite, you know? It's like, but anyway, they're just, hypocrites exist. It's I know quite a few people actually who are not really interested in this World Cup, which it's sad because I mean, look, this is Canada's first World Cup in what? How many years is it? 36? Can't remember.
Something like that.
Yeah, and I am going to watch the World Cup. I'm going to try and enjoy the World Cup as much as one can, and I don't know what the state of the football is going to be like. We've not even really spoken about the playing conditions that a lot of players, well, not the playing conditions per se, but the scheduling conditions of the players. The World Cup literally starts next week. Not even up to a week. It's
less than 6 days?
Yeah, 6 days, which, not even really much of a break, no camp really to prepare. It's just straight into it. We've seen a lot of players picking up injuries in the last few weeks, but
it's still going to be above 30 degrees during the day, even in November.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
Look, we'll talk about the World Cup on this pod, but we feel like it's important to highlight these alleged issues surrounding the World Cup, with its award, with how the stadiums have been built, with how certain sections of fans are going to be treated if they do go to Qatar for this. And we'd be doing everyone a disservice if we didn't talk about this side of it.
Yeah.
Because this side is important.
Yeah.
With that being said, I think that's everything we had time for this week. Once again, thank you for joining me, Tommy.
Cheers, guys.
And thank you for joining me, Tony.
Good stuff, guys. Enjoyed the chat.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 442. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.